Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great Wednesday. With the stock market being super volatile, it's worthwhile to look into some plays that we can capitalize on. Today I'm bringing you a detailed video on Timber Pharmaceuticals with this ticker symbol TMBR. It's currently trading at $1.91 a share and it very well might see a lot of upside down the road. What's interesting about this stock is the volatility. The number of shares and float are extremely low, as well as the market cap. This gives a lot of opportunity to play off momentum. Be sure to watch this entire video to the end to get the absolute big picture on this company. With these low cap pharma companies, there's going to be a lot of volatility, and the only thing that will get yourself to hold through the dips is having conviction on the company. And conviction stems from being more informed. Ultimately, you want to know as much as you can about your investments so that you can be confident in your decision to invest even if the company dips a little here or there. Also, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more detailed DDs just like this one. But without further ado, let's get into what Timber Pharmaceuticals is all about. So what is Timber Pharmaceuticals and what do they do? Timber Pharmaceuticals is a pharma company that deals with developing treatments for rare diseases or conditions of the skin. This is an industry that is in demand since over 450 different rare skin diseases have been identified, and yet there have only been 17 FDA approvals for 8 different rare dermatologic conditions since the Orphan Drug Act was passed in 1983. Now, what is the Orphan Drug Act, you may ask? It's essentially a program offered to encourage the development of treatments for rare diseases. Basically, when a company develops a drug and qualifies for the Orphan Drug Act, they receive incentives from the FDA to study a rare disease. Timber Pharma is essentially targeting multiple indications in rare/orphan dermatology with no approved treatments. As a result, they're eligible to receive tax credits, market exclusivity, and also have their new drug application fee waived. These are all great news, of course. You can see from this information that there's a clear demand of a treatment for these rare skin disorders. However, there are no treatments which currently exist. There are currently 3 rare skin conditions that TMBR is focusing on developing treatments for. These are congenital ichthyosis, tuberous sclerosis complex, and localized scleroderma. Congenital ichthyosis affects 80,000 people in the US, tuberous sclerosis affects 50,000 people in the US, and localized scleroderma affects 10,000 people in the US. I'm not going to post more pictures of these because I don't want to get demonetized, nor do I want people clicking off this video, but you can search them up yourselves. These are pretty rare skin diseases, and you can imagine how the people who have these conditions would be so desperate to seek a treatment since the skin is the largest organ of your body. Timber Pharma is currently working on 3 different products which are in their early stages, the TMB1, 2, and 3. Additionally, they have 2 products which have already established clinical proof of concept. These are the BPX1 and BPX4. Their first drug, TMB1, is indicated for congenital ichthyosis, which affects 1.5 million people globally. This drug is a proprietary topical formulation of isotretinoin, which is currently only available orally in the market. The problem that arises is when you take isotretinoin orally for a chronic period, you get systemic side effects which you don't want. Applying this formulation topically minimizes these systemic side effects, ultimately posing a lot of benefits for the patients since they're now more likely to stick to their drug regimen. TMBR estimates a $250 million annual US market size at peak for this formulation, and they had a lot of success in their phase 1B/2A proof of concept study with positive data on efficacy and no systemic absorption. They also received $1.5 million from the FDA to support their phase 2A and 2B trials. They're currently enrolling patients as part of their phase 2B trials. Their second drug, TMB2, is indicated for facial angiofibromas in tuberous sclerosis. Currently, there's 40 to 50,000 patients suffering from tuberous sclerosis in the US, and 75% of these patients have facial angiofibromas, which is a type of facial rash. TMB2 is a topical formulation of rapamycin, which is an inflammatory inhibitor, which helps with the rash. Similar to TMB1, rapamycin is currently only available orally, so there's a need to develop a topical formulation to reduce systemic side effects. TMBR also estimates a $250 million annual US market size at peak for this formulation, and their topical rapamycin has demonstrated to be efficacious in multiple well-controlled studies and case reports. Their third drug, the TMB3, is in its preclinical stages, primarily indicated for localized scleroderma. They expect to submit an investigational new drug application in Q4 of 2021, and they may also qualify for a rare pediatric disease priority review voucher for this, which is great news as well. This is a chart of their near-term milestones. We can see that there are quite a few catalysts on the way, and judging from their previous successes in the earlier phases of drug development, we can predict that they would have similar successes in the future. Like I said earlier, with this company's low float, they are very volatile, and these catalysts present as opportunities to trade off of, so it's important to keep that in mind. Looking at their financials, they have a market cap of 27 million with 11.85 million shares outstanding and a float of 5.55 million shares. They have $12 million of cash on hand, and there is a 46.72% insider ownership and a 12.3% institutional ownership, with the notable shareholders being Bridgeway Capital and many more on this list. They are in a good position financially to support themselves through both their phase 2B clinical trials and also support operating expenses through Q3 of 2021. Also, you have to consider that due to their participation in the Orphan drug program, they receive a lot of funding and incentives via the FDA as well, putting them in a really good spot financially. They have 7 issued US patents with 6 US patent applications pending. Additionally, they have 1 issued and 18 pending international patent applications. You can see that there are a lot of good things happening in the horizon for this company, but with all that being said, let's get into some reasons why you should and shouldn't invest in TMBR. So starting off with some pros, they have a solid management team who are experienced in developing and commercializing drug delivery platforms. They have some solid products with market demand. They have a high profit potential. They did estimate a $250 million annual market size at peak for 2 of their drug formulations in development. They have the funding to support themselves through both their phase 2B clinical trials and support operating expenses through Q3 of 2021. Their drugs are in high demand, and they're positioned to be a leading derm company with the only FDA-approved product for these rare conditions that significantly affect the quality of life of those who have it. They have a competitive edge since they have secured so many patents and have a lot of them pending as well. The stock has a low float, which makes it a great momentum play for swing traders. There's a positive response from the FDA regarding clinical data, regarding efficacy and safety. And lastly, they're in a good legal standing. They haven't had any fraud cases or litigations. However, some cons that you could consider are that they are a relatively young company, which increases their vulnerability. They also don't have any profitable products to generate income yet. But with all that being said, I hope this video gave you a little bit more information on Timber Pharmaceuticals. I'm currently not invested in this company, but I plan on buying in once I'm more liquid. I seriously don't think this is a pump and dump company. There are some good things coming soon for this company, and with the catalyst, we can see that the stock can go a lot higher. If you guys like these videos, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more similar content. I plan on making videos about noteworthy companies every other day, so subscribe so that you don't miss out. And with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll catch you guys in the next one.